What's good, you guys? It's Lifestyle from LifeStyleDidIt.com, and in today's video I'll be going over a few tips that I have posted on my Twitter. If you have me on Twitter, you'll see that I have a thread called Mixing Tips, and I just drop a bunch of random mixing tips on there that can help you guys out. So I'm going to choose a couple today to go over and, kind of explain in visual how to do them. If you guys want to see this thread, just find me on Twitter at LifeStyleDidIt, hit follow. You'll see a thread called Mixing Tips, and you can see all of them in there. I'm going to do a couple series on the channel where I go through and explain, what certain ones of them are. So let's just go ahead. I'm going to read off my phone one of them, and then we'll go from there. So we have mixing tip: cut 50 to 60 hertz by 3 dB from your 808 so the kick can cut through more. So let's go in here. This is just a random beat I pulled up. This beat's not going to need, each one of these tips to it, like to be used on it, but I'm just going to show you guys a visual of what I'm speaking about on Twitter. So we have our stuff routed in here. We have our kick and we have our 808 right here. So we'll just press play. So hold on, let me mute that vocal. All right, so with this 808, we're going to bring up the parametric EQ, and we're going to hunt somewhere from 50 to 60 hertz and find out where that low end of the kick is clashing with the 808. So let's just boost this at 50 and go between 50, 65, somewhere in there, and then figure out where it's hitting and then subtract it. So you can see around 49, 50 hertz, it's kind of clashing. So let's just go ahead and take that out of the 808 by 3 dB, and it's going to let our kick punch through a lot more. So this is before, after, so before, after. Just letting our kick punch through a little more. So let's go ahead and find another one. If your kick drum clashes with your 808, fade out the volume of the kick aggressively and pitch it up 1 to 2 semitones. This makes the kick more punchy. So let's go ahead, find the kick, and what I'm saying, you can either fade it out right here. So you'll hear, here's our kick, and if we fade it out, it gets more punchy and gets rid of a little bit of the bass without EQing it. So I don't know why I was clicking that one. It's right here. So let's go ahead, go into Edison, and let's fade it out a bit. And come over here so it could be more gentle. And then we'll fade out the end more. And then hit play. Let's do a little bit more. There we go. And then let's call this kick. We can Control C, Control V, and then delete this one, and then route this to kick. And then we'll go ahead and take the EQ off of this. And like I said, now it's punching more. You can also bring it up by a semitone, which just means, Control A, hold Shift, and go up 1 or 2. And now you see that it's getting out of the way of the 808 because we're basically raising it in frequency. We're getting rid of a lot of that tail that creates a lot of bass, and then by pitching it up, we're moving the frequencies up. So C sharp, if we go back to C, and then go to D, it's a bit different. So we'll just keep that like that. That's another tip. Let's see. Duplicate your snare, slam it with a limiter, boost 200 to 240 hertz, and then cut 90 hertz and everything else below. Blend this back in with the original snare. So let's go to the snare. And just to make this easy, let's just clone this so I don't have to make a whole routing system for it. And we're just going to call this snare smashed. And then let's route it over here. And on this, let's solo it. Let's get the FL limiter. And we're going to mess with our ceiling. We want the attack to be rather fast because we're going to make it more punchy. So we want to get rid of the attack to fatten up the snare, have a pretty long release on it. And then let's go ahead and just kind of destroy this with the limiter. All right, so you'll hear before, after. So we need to bring a little bit of gain back in. And it just destroyed it and it made it sound fatter. Now we're going to go a step further. I'm going to cut out around 70 to 90 and we're going to boost around 220 to 240s where like the heart, you know, thickness of a snare is. So let's just make it narrow and go hunt for that. We'll hear it around here about 240. So let's open this up and then bring it down. All right, so we'll just blend this one back in with the original. And it just gives the snare a bit more body. So those are a couple of the mix tips that I have on Twitter. Like I said, if you want to see all of them, you'll follow me at LifeStyleDidIt. Hit the mixing tip section. You're going to see all of the tips that I have in there so far. I'll be releasing more and doing more videos where I kind of explain them a bit better, so you guys have a visual and it's not just something you're reading, you know, just in case you don't know exactly how to follow along with what I was saying. If you guys did like this video, thumbs it up. You can follow me on all social medias at LifeStyleDidIt. Hit my website for everything else, LifeStyleDidIt.com. Other than that, subscribe to your boy. Thanks.